It's widely reported that most projects fail. By failure, we mean not on target, not on time, and not on budget. And by most, we mean 70%. It's a staggering number that might make your job feel like an undoable Everest. But give us a second before throwing in the towel. We have one of the greatest of all time to help explain how to get you and your team into that small percentage of wins that beat the odds. All right, so in 1964, Muhammad Ali was set to fight with Sonny Liston, the world heavyweight champion at the time for nearly 2 years running.
I am the greatest.
The young motormouth was hedged 7-1 to lose to the most intimidating man in the history of the sport. Lore has it that when he was asked by a reporter how he was going to win, his signature line was born.
I'm going to float like a butterfly and sting like a bee.
And if that phrase is written like "believe" in Ted Lasso's locker room, or cut into a hip neon reminder in your lobby, it sounds like sound advice to run a successful project. It's the 1-2 punch that tells us to stay soft and aim hard at the same time. It harkens us to stay agile, be adaptable, remain flexible, while never forgetting to know your deadlines, stay on target, get buy-in. You need to have both to get a project over the finish line, right? But if that was the answer, why do most projects still fail? Why do only 30% succeed when great advice is right there? A big portion of the answer lives in what Muhammad Ali said next. Yes, there's a second half to what he said that day that gets cut off, excluded, and mostly, if not entirely, forgotten. But we believe it's key to understanding why most projects fail. He said,
I'm going to float like a butterfly and sting like a bee. His hands can't hit what his eyes can't see.
He went deeper, and most people miss that. It's the same with projects. Often enough, projects fail. Success crashes and goals go unmet because of the easy-to-Google list of not enoughs. Not enough time, not enough money, not enough talent, not enough communication. But that list is missing what's deeper. If teams are swinging at something they don't care about or don't see the why behind, the lack of purpose can punt any project right into the grave.
If you can't articulate the why of a project, then you can't really bring people along on the journey, and you're going to struggle to get the commitment to do the delivery for the project.
From the C-suite to managers, project managers, and teams, a lack of purpose erodes success at every level. Every project limps when there's a lack of it, especially in the post-pandemic workscape. In a recent article from McKinsey & Company, a whopping 2/3 of US-based employees said that 2020 caused them to reflect on their purpose. Half were reconsidering the kind of work they do, and 3 times as many millennials were scratching their heads and rethinking their 9-to-5. While that may not feel like the smoking gun solve to ensure successful projects, if 70% of us get our sense of purpose from work, and we don't know why we're throwing punches or what we're fighting for, what tends to happen? We wilt in the ring with less energy, less engagement, less satisfaction, less productivity, and we're less likely to stick around. Ultimately, negative outcomes for us mean inevitable negative outcomes for projects. So, how do we braid something so deeply rooted and hyper-personal, like purpose, back into business so our projects have a better chance? Well, in order to hit a target, you need to be able to see it. In project speak, this means recognizing everyone on your team is engineered for purpose, asking deeper project whys, and being an example of purpose in action. The first step is the simple awareness that 3/4 of us get our sense of purpose from work. We wake up, jump in the shower, eat breakfast, and sit down at our desks with the desire to contribute meaningfully, whether we realize it or not. Purpose drives us, and a lack of it drains us. So the next time you kick off a new project, look around and recognize that each individual is designed to work with purpose. And not only that, but when they do, their work outcomes are 2 to 5 times higher than when it's missing. This leads nicely into number 2.
We're living in a stress-filled, chaotic, challenging world where people don't feel seen. They don't feel seen at home, they don't feel seen at work, they don't feel seen in many places. So if we can create these pockets where they do, then the whole world starts to open up as far as possibilities of not only what can happen on the project, but what can unfold and expand for them individually.
Nail your collective why with every project. If you can't articulate the why of a project, everyone's set up to build aimlessly. As the project manager, you need to plant a powerful stake in the ground right from a project's inception and ask that all-important and often elusive why. And not just once. The Harvard Business Review reckons that it takes asking why 4 to 7 times in order to get to the essence of why a project needs to exist. Without it, productivity perishes and success is sacrificed. But knowing why feeds motivation, filters solutions, and fuels momentum. By getting to the bottom of why, your team can feel aligned and united in a defined purpose that carries everyone over the finish line. Lastly, project managers need to be the example of purpose in action. Your team needs to see it to be it, and if they're not seeing it happening up top, there's less of a chance it's reflected down below.
You have to be able to communicate effectively as a leader to people at all levels, because you're selling the story and telling the story to senior executives and to people who will be using whatever it is you are delivering or being part of the change that you're implementing. So if you can tell the story of how the project is going to affect people, as a leader, you can really help them engage and understand why the thing is happening, what impact it's going to have on them, and bring them along. Storytelling skills are really important when you want to make sure that your project is a success.
In a survey of over 4,000 employees, Deloitte found more than 80% of respondents said it's important for senior leaders to behave in line with their organization's purpose, but only 55% agreed that they do. Oof. Actions always speak louder than words. If you want more of your team's energy, engagement, satisfaction, productivity, and retention that comes from them feeling purposeful at work, you need to be the walking definition of it. So where do we go from here? We take Muhammad Ali's line with us. Maybe we put it on a Post-it pinned to our laptop screen. Maybe it sits as morning inspiration before our next meeting. Maybe we get everyone to watch this video in our next kickoff. But maybe it simply starts with us. As project managers, we enter the boxing ring first. So yes, we need to float like a butterfly and sting like a bee. But we have to bring the latter half of that line into every project. We need to fill our teams with a purpose they can connect with and execute on. Or we can expect to stay within the 70% of projects that don't make the cut. One way to increase our odds is through Mastering Digital Project Management, a program we built to equip you with the mindset, skill set, and tool set to lead projects confidently in the digital context. In it, we explore best practices for aligning, planning, and managing projects, as well as your leadership style, and how to be the example of performance you want to see reflected back from your teams. In the meantime, carry the lost half of one of history's greatest lines with you, not just in work, but in life. Get into the ring with a purpose your eyes can see and your hands will land a hit. But don't take it from us. Take it from the GOAT.
I am the greatest.
Hey everyone, Becca here from the DPM. I just wanted to let you know that we have a project plans checklist that can help you plan and manage your project successfully. Essentially, the project checklist goes through the entire life cycle of the project, helping you not miss any important steps along the way. So if you want to get a free copy, you can head to the link below.
If this video resonated with you, hit like and subscribe to see more like it. Thanks for tuning in.
I must be the greatest. I told the world.